recent months, reports show a decline in drug overdose deaths here in the United States. NewsNation Now weekend anchor Hena Kooiman has been following this story. Hena, what is the administration saying about these declining numbers? This is good news.
That's right. Well, President Donald Trump is talking tough this week, as usual, and he's really putting pressure on other countries, including China, saying he will be speaking to President Xi about tariffs and preventing fentanyl crossing into our border. Listen.
We also have a problem where he's allowing fentanyl to be sent into Mexico and then cross the border and, killing. I think the number is much higher than the 125, 115 that I think it's closer to 300,000 people a year. And so that's a problem. But they have a tremendous surplus against the United States, and we don't want that.
So Trump is really repeating that tariffs are an effort to press other countries to do more in preventing the flow of drugs into the United States. And they're also extending the public health emergency declaration associated with our nation's opioid crisis. That was set to expire this week. It was set to expire Friday. Now they're pushing it out for another 90 days. But HHS Secretary RFK Jr. is announcing it's going to be extended now through June. So let's take a look at what he said this week. He says, although overdose deaths are starting to decline, opioid-involved overdoses remain the leading cause of drug-related fatalities. This administration is going to treat this urgent crisis in American health as the national security emergency that it is. So them having this national declaration set for this emergency is going to give them some extra flexibility in how they handle this opioid crisis. So where do the numbers stand right now? These numbers are coming to us from the CDC. And so here's what they're reporting. Look at these numbers. There's this sharp decline here between October of 2023 and October 2024, which is great news, but it's actually a win in some ways for the Democrats, because this was during the Biden administration before Trump even came into power. Now let's look at these annual unintentional death rates. So these are things not just like drug overdoses, but motor vehicle accidents or accidental falls. And if you see here, I mean, this is just a mountain still today compared to the others. So no celebrating yet. We definitely need to get this thing under control. And you can see why, Hena, they continue to say this is a national emergency. 82,000 people lost their lives in overdose deaths back in that time frame between 2023 and 2024.
Yeah, I think everyone knows someone with addiction. I mean, it's so prevalent in our country. We showed our viewers that major drug bust from earlier this week. What are we learning about countries coming across the border into the United States, Hena?
Yeah, so let's take a look at what the Border Patrol is doing. They've been pretty consistent with stopping the flow of drugs into our country. As we look at these numbers here, whether it was the Trump administration or the Biden administration, all the numbers are about the same, with this one sort of outlier in September. We haven't figured out why that number is a bit different, but they're all pretty much the same. Now let's take a look here at our southern border drug seizures and the breakdown of all the different drugs. So we have marijuana at the top, then methamphetamines, cocaine, and fentanyl still there at the bottom. But I will mention as well, Hena, that it's important to note Democrats are saying, look, if we are really going to treat this fentanyl crisis like a national emergency that it is, when we're seeing all these DOJ cuts, we ought to be concerned about the mental health programs that perhaps might be getting cut, and also substance abuse programs, because those two go hand in hand, don't they? We got to think about the demand that's asking for these drugs, not just the supply of it coming in.
No, this is a huge story. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.